Alrighty, guys. Welcome to another episode of Journey to the Pit. I'm Jim Collins, and we have our special guest coming on tonight. This should be another great show. We have Dr. Fabio coming on tonight, which is Dr. Fabio is a veterinarian, and he also had a master's in genetics. So he's going to give us a really good insight of the genetic aspect of these birds. So it's going to be great. I invited him already, so we'll just be waiting for him to come on in. But like I said, this should be a great show. Dr. Fabio is well known. He's not only a veterinarian, like I said, he has a master's in genetics. And then also he's a international competitor. So he'll be on tonight to talk about the genetic aspect of chicken breeding, gamefowl breeding. We just call them chickens. That's what he said. We just call them chickens. But he'll be giving us a very scientific insight. And he's not going to be using a lot of technical terms or anything like that. Like he said tonight, he just want to talk layman's terms. You know, he want to be talking about the genetic aspect in cockers talk, just like gamefowl breeders will be talking. That is the way he's going to be explaining the information tonight. Again, guys, please do not request to be added to the video. But again, this should be a great interview tonight. I'm really looking forward to it. Him and I have had some lengthy conversations about many different things. He gave me a lot of understanding of stuff that I know occurs, but didn't know the scientific reason behind it outside of my own research. I have done some research. Hey, Juan. I had done a lot of research into genetics, but Dr. Fabio is going to give us a great inside look on what's going on. So let me see if I can pull him on in here. And let's see here. Get him on in so we can enjoy his. So he's going to give us a really good inside explanation, the best he can, not using any technical words, just trying to explain a lot of things of why we know as cockers certain things work, but he's going to give us the scientific reasoning behind it. We're just waiting for him to come on in. He's been invited. I think Facebook was trying to add him, but I asked him a lot of great questions. You know, like what things come from the hen, what things come from the rooster. You know, why do some roosters produce better than their brothers? Why do some hens produce better than their brothers? And he gave a very good scientific explanation of how they can go into the genes and they can see exactly who's going to produce what, because it almost comes down to the fact that, you know, chickens are just like humans. You know, they have their own DNA and none of them are exactly the same, but he kind of tells of how you can try to get the preferred qualities that you're looking for. You know, how you breed to get those qualities. And a lot of successful breeders already been doing this. They already know how to do it, but a lot of them don't understand the science behind it. But they have been very successful in already doing it. A lot of breeders out here that's been very successful in breeding gamefowl to get the qualities that they want consistently. But he's going to give us the explanation of why they're able to do that. And sometimes we're doing things, we don't know why it's working. We just know it's working. And then we can just keep repeating the process. So hopefully Dr. Fabio tonight will be able to give us an understanding from a scientific standpoint, from genetics, from genetic research of how or why that happens. And I think it's going to be very interesting. You know, he has a different approach on some things that, like I say, you know, through these lengthy conversations we had, I was like, wow, you know, I understand now why it was working. But I know there's breeders who've been able to do it, but even how he raised the gamefowl, and just to let you know, he's active. He's an international competitor. And like I say, he's known all over the place, but he's going to give us a lot of great things from what he have learned through his many 25 years as a veterinarian. And like I say, he has a master's in genetics. He's going to try to explain it the best way possible, and also how he applied his knowledge from the lab, from his studies. And then actually, like he said, the best thing was the experience, you know, being out there, being competitive You know, he said he learns a lot. He's not just like a veterinarian. Got your earphones? Let's see here. He's trying to come on in. You know, we always have this issue with Facebook every week trying to get our special guest in, but we'll see. We'll just try to get it on in. But he's going to have some great information. I think he's going to have some great information tonight, and it will give us just some eye-opening things. You know, it was very interesting listening to the genetic aspect of how the scientists even apply the genetic aspect to breeding, you know, our chickens that we use for food. You know, our meat, he call them meat chickens. You know, there we go. Uh-oh. Guys, just hang on in there. All righty. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, it's a little delay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. About now.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Okay, that's great. Okay, yeah, I can hear you. It's just a little delay, but that's not going to be a problem because you'll be doing all the talking and we'll be doing all the listening. So
that's the way
again, why that's the way it works. You'll be doing all the talking, we'll be doing all the listening. But guys, I'll just introduce Dr. Fabio again. He is a veterinarian. Also, he has a master in genetics. He's coming on and joining us tonight to give us the scientific understanding. He will not be using technical laboratory words or college words. He'll be explaining this to us in layman terms, and from the laboratory, from the school, and then also him being out in the field and taking what he have learned from the school and the laboratory and applying it to the field and just combining all of that together to create an unbelievable program. So while he's on, let me go ahead and say the disclaimer again, which you know I always do. All the information discussed in this interview is for historical, educational, and entertainment purposes only. None of this information is intended for any illegal purposes, and all opinions are respected of the individual. So welcome, doctor. I just introduced you. We all sitting here waiting, man, to hear the great information that you have to share with us tonight. So let's just go ahead and start off, you know, just introduce yourself once again, and then we can start off with your history, how you got started into it.
All right. Good night, everybody. My name is Dr. Fabio Abreu. I live in Connecticut. I've been involved, I'm 50 years old, and I've been involved in chickens since I remember.
Okay.
So, it's like, you know, for me, chick is part of my life. It's,
right.
It's an everyday thing. It's very, when we're talking about chicken, the way that we like the chicken for us.
Right.
The way I express myself with chickens, some people, sometimes they don't understand. For me, chicken is a chicken, okay? But I have a lot of respect for the chickens, a lot of it, because where they are. Right. The chicken they we like, okay?
Right. The chicken, the type of chickens that we breed and that we like. That's right. Exactly.
So those particular chickens, you have to be respect all the way to the bottom, all the way to the bone for those birds, because those birds put your name and they put their life for getting your name up.
Right. That's
That's not easy task, man.
Right. Exactly. They said exactly, and that's a great way that you put it. We owe them the ultimate respect, because they in some cases, you know, risk their life or sacrifice their life for our benefit, you know, and it's their instinct. And I know you'll talk about that later on in the interview, but that's the reason why we have to ultimately respect them, because of what they capable and what they able to do.
Yeah, they gonna talk for us. We're not
right.
Every time I hear a cocker talking about chicken, I always listen to him. The most they talk, I more than want to listen. But at the same time, I want to see the bird performing the way he talk. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Talking is easy. That's the more
Mm-hmm.
easy thing is talking. Talking is the easy part.
Right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's
Seriously,
right.
talking is the easy part.
Right.
Let's see what's going to happen when they get to the arena.
Right. Exactly.
Then it's totally
Mm-hmm.
different things. Okay?
That's the totally different
So,
things. Mm-hmm.
yeah, we have to take it very serious,
Mm-hmm.
especially for the youngsters
Right.
that are gonna start involved in chicken life,
Mm-hmm.
and they have to know how responsible this thing gonna
Mm-hmm.
be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is not a little job. This is
Right.
not easy.
Right.
When you commit to, you're gonna raise them right from the get go
Right.
until you bring it to the pit.
Right.
Man, it's a long, long journey.
A long.
Let me tell you,
that's
very
that's
long,
a long journey. That's right. That's exactly right.
very,
That's a
very
long
long.
journey. So
Because,
tell. Uh-huh.
go ahead, go ahead.
So what I was going to say that, and I'm glad you used that word because that's really to me the best way to describe it. It is a journey. You know, it's a very long journey, and you learn a lot of things uh, along that journey, and then that even reflects on us, like our journey as a cocker. You know, birds have their journey, and cockers we have our journey. And like you say, you know, you've been involved in gamefowl, you know, since you've been a child. You know, as long as you can remember.
That's right.
So tell us, you know, what really attracted you, you know, to gamefowl?
Well, everything starts and saying I'd be like trying to find out. I just listen to the old people
Mm-hmm.
talking
Mm-hmm.
about you're gonna cruise that bird with this bird, and we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
get this and this and that, this and that,
Mm-hmm.
this and that, this and that.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Mm-hmm.
listening, and all that. All story for the old cockers are good ones though.
Right.
They they see each other like, listen,
Right.
you need to use my hand. We're gonna put it in your cock, and then
Right.
this thing's gonna be, you know what I mean, out of control.
Right.
And always I'm thinking like, really? That's the way they happen? So
Right.
I grew up with this thing like I need to find out if it's that way
It's
they what they
curious.
talking about. Yeah, too much.
Right.
And
Right.
always when somebody says something to me, I listen very
Mm-hmm.
well
Mm-hmm.
and I put it to the test.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I
Mm-hmm.
always put it to the test.
Mm-hmm.
That I had to be proven that that is correct. That's
Right.
the right way. So
Right.
that's the way I am.
Right.
That's the way I am. So from there, I took it very serious and I
Mm-hmm.
started learning every day more, and I started to be more in the field, school
Uh-huh.
in the field. So
Right.
putting this thing together, they put me in the different level
Mm-hmm.
and learning
Mm-hmm.
about this bird and started
Mm-hmm.
loving more
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
it's a connection. When do
Mm-hmm.
you raise them, it
Right.
had to be a connection with them. It's some people, they are really in the cockers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Not
Mm-hmm.
like a player or something like that. Really, the
Right.
cocker, they know
Right.
what I'm talking about.
Right.
They
Right.
they we get a sensor. We pick sense in that journey. We pick sense that we can be able to find out by the naked eye or by the clinic vision,
Mm-hmm.
who can cross with who,
Right.
and we try to get better stuff. All that is in our brain.
Mm-hmm.
All that methodology that we get in our brain, we need to
Mm-hmm.
put it together
Right.
when we make that cross.
Right.
That's in cocker way thinking.
That's that's the cocker. So basically, like you're saying, is that is the gamefowl breeder. That's the cocker. That's not the gambler. That's not the guy who just a spectator. That is the true cocker. That is his purpose. That's what he wants to do. He's the one who builds a connection with the bird. He spends the time viewing them, analyzing them, watching them for hours, for years, for months. And you're saying that's pretty much what you're describing, a true cocker, a guy who has a connection with these birds and not just involved with them for gambling or for spectating or anything like that.
Yeah, so you had to have some connection with them. You
Mm-hmm.
had to have some connection with the nature, with the Mother Nature, and they are in Mother Nature because they not learn nothing from us. We need to learn from them because they were first than us here.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
So we need to know what they cause stress for them. We need to find the best place where we can put them the way they feel comfortable at it. So if something go wrong, if you see the chicken go wrong and starting too nervous or something, something's going on. Okay. So we need to find out why she is like that. For example, chicken, they don't have good eyes. Okay. They got good ears and good smell. A hawk is at 300 feet up. They not see the hawk.
Okay.
They smell and they hear.
Wow. So chickens don't have really good eyesight, huh?
No. Smell and ears, especially the ears.
Especially the ears, huh?
Yeah. Believe it or not.
Wow. So tell me this, doctor, you learned that about the chicken from being in school, from medical school, huh?
Medical school.
Got you. So tell me this. So a lot of the things that you were hearing, growing up, take this hand and put it with that cock and this and that and switch this all around and were you able to take the information from the school to help you understand why that stuff worked or didn't work?
Exactly. That's what I did. Okay. Because like I told you right in the beginning, chicken is everything for me. I had to be around chickens. Otherwise, you know what I mean? I get kind of nervous. Because seriously, they help me mentally.
Right.
Yeah, seriously.
Right.
They help me a
That's
lot.
right. That's right.
It's a therapy for me. So I've been involved with them. So I'm 50 years old already. So
Right.
for me, I have to be. If any cockers up there, they know what I'm talking about. We need to hear it crowing. We need to see how healthy they are.
That's
Seriously,
right. That's exactly
we need to hear it how healthy they are.
Right. That's right.
Healthy.
It's
everything.
Everything.
That's everything.
Everything.
Okay.
Health is wealth.
If they're not healthy, forget about it. It doesn't matter how much program do you have, how much genetic they have.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. They're not going to perform the way you expect them.
Got you.
Okay.
So health is wealth. Period.
That's it. The power comes from the health. Okay. If you losing health, you losing power. And power is everything in life. Right. And for the chicken, it's totally legal. You have empowered chickens. Okay. Okay. That's the only thing I can tell you. But the way we do crosses, depending on the blood type, we need to find out first what kind of bird we're gonna start.
Okay.
That's one of the most important things.
Okay.
Who getting the bird have to understand if they are getting a pair, let's say from you, you usually when we get a bird, we're not going to somebody that's lower than me. We go to somebody that's higher than me.
Right. Exactly.
That's the way it's supposed to go. But I'm gonna tell you something. My chicken, your chicken, and everybody's chicken got 78 chromosomes. It's not different. The only thing they make it different was the person who breed that chicken.
Right.
The vision they have for breeding it, what the program they have to breed in it, why it was their desire for that, for one particular characteristic in the bird. Okay, the position, body type, phenotype, the whole enchilada. That's what we call it by Mexico. That's the whole
Okay.
enchilada there. But yeah, but when you're gonna get it, you need to go to the right person to do that. And this day is kind of difficult because in every yard, any cocker has the best. That's the make the sport the way it is. So much competition. And it's something very good because the better you get, the more competition you're gonna find.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And the more friends gonna follow you.
Right.
That's for sure.
Right. So you basically saying that good chickens can be in anybody's yard.
That's right. That's
Okay.
right. Whatever
Okay.
we do in Puerto Rico, in Dominican Republic, United States, Colombia, Mexico, Philippines, Guatemala, you name it, you can do in your yard. You can do it in your yard. Okay? You can do it in your yard. You need to find out. You need to find and recognize the characteristic and the genes.
In the genes.
Okay? What gene produced this time the characteristic? And you start to divide them. You have to put on the side.
Okay.
Because the more deep you get in them, more stuff gonna come out.
And what you mean by stuff like more characteristics is going to come out, or more bad things are going to come out, or
the characteristic go along with the bad thing come out.
Got you. So good and bad's coming out. Whatever's in there.
Everything is in the genome.
Right.
The more you inbred it, the more you inbreeding, the more they're gonna come out, and that's not gonna stop until you stop. Until you stop.
Okay.
You're gonna ruin the blood the way you find it if you're not careful. They're gonna take. It's more easy to ruin it than fixing it.
Got you.
Okay. So what you need to do is find out when do I stop to introduce this to make it better.
Okay.
If they need it.
Okay.
If they need it. If they not need it, you don't have to do anything. But for that being happening, you need to run a test. Every clutch, let's say for example, you have four brothers, full brothers from the same net, right? Same clutch. All four brothers in there, they are brothers from the father and from the mother. Okay? Both of them, they got a pair genome out of each parents. But what happened with this? Even we have million life organisms on Earth. It's not one similar to the other one. Whatever you are, that's you.
Right.
That's it. That's your fingerprints. That unique on Earth.
Right.
Same thing happened with the chickens.
Okay.
Sometimes I hear people, I'm gonna cruise this because I want to get the blood of that chicken to try to make that cock again.
Right.
That's not true.
That's not true, huh?
That's not true. No, that's not true. That chicken is only that chicken on Earth. As soon as you lose it, you're never gonna get it.
You're never going to get it, huh?
Not like him. You can get better than him.
Okay.
You can get better than him.
Okay.
Depending on your clinic eyes, what you're looking for, the way they're gonna perform. Or you can get
worse than him.
Bad. That's right. But you're never gonna get just exactly
the same.
No way, Jose. No, nothing.
It's like no matter how many kids you have, they'll never have your fingerprints.
Never.
Right.
Never. It's unique. They call it imprinting. Okay? That's why I strongly suggest when you have a program raise the chicks with the hen and the rooster. Raise them together.
Mm-hmm.
When you raise them together, you compare with the one you raise in an incubator.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to notice the difference. You're going to see how alert the one that raised with the mother and the father against the one that raised in incubator.
Okay.
The hatching incubator.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see the way they grow up. You're going to see the difference. The
Mm-hmm.
one from the incubator, they're going to grow faster, bigger, but they don't have the strength. They don't have to perform like the one that raised with the father and the mother.
Now, is that a result of environment, or is it some type of genetic makeup that is being altered from the incubator to the natural hatch?
It's a switch.
Switch.
The gene works like a switch, environmental.
Okay.
The environment is some kind of switch in there. They always go up or go down. They depend on the stress they get, depend what they eat, what they drink,
Mm-hmm.
what space they have, and what they're learning.
Got you.
What do you think a chick's gonna learn? A chick they hatch in an incubator.
Mm-hmm.
Hen is starting to find out that egg's gonna come out at the age when they have 14 days. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Starting crawling for the chick. Starting moving the egg more often. And then it's starting getting the hen is starting getting a very bad fever. That fever is for make the humidity right for the head to hatch. The incubator is trying to duplicate that process with the hen made.
Got you. Right.
You have to have the right humidity
Mm-hmm.
to be able the chicken get out of the egg.
Right. That's right.
If they're not right, they're gonna stick to the egg and they're not gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So it's the hen to do all the job for everything.
Mm-hmm.
The hen is in charge to decide who is a male and who is a female.
So, doctor, let's talk about that, because I don't think everybody does not know who decide the sex of the chick. So let's just back up a little bit, and I want to talk about what we talked about earlier. How you were explaining to me how long it takes, or how long the egg has to get fertile from the sperm of the rooster, and who determines the sex of the egg. So
When you put a pair chicken and a rooster together,
mm-hmm.
you have to have something in mind always.
Mm-hmm.
You building a warrior,
Mm-hmm.
okay? So you have to build the best one.
Mm-hmm.
Weakness is not allowed. Okay, it's not allowed. In this game, it's not allowed.
Right. No weakness.
Because if you got weakness, you're gonna pay in the pit.
Right.
Only the strong survive.
Right.
You have to keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So for you, close all those little windows for not getting that weakness.
Mm-hmm.
You need a healthy hen and a healthy cock.
Okay.
You want to make sure they are in the top shape, both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I know some people, they don't like do exercise to the bird. I strongly suggest the blue cock do some little sparring. That's the hormone and the testosterone get high level.
Okay. And tell me this, doctor, when should they do that sparring? Is this something they should do throughout the year, or if it's something maybe around breeding season? When would you suggest breeding season?
Breeding
Okay.
season.
Okay.
Another thing, the blue cock do not cut the comb.
Don't cut the comb?
No, 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 no.
Well, tell me this before you give me the answer to that. In some areas where it get the temperature get very, very frigid and they get frostbite. So in a situation like that, you'll suggest, if they get frostbite, cut the comb, huh?
In that situation, the natural happening, if you seen it, because I live in the cold weather, here is
Okay.
below zero.
Okay.
Okay, when they get frosty, they never get all the way to the cranium.
Okay, not always
Always
to the
like
cranium.
it's like a 1 inch up,
Right. Okay.
and that
Okay.
part come out.
But leave the
Okay?
rest.
Leave the rest.
Okay.
So if you are in the hot area, I suggest very strong leave it with a comb, because you broodcock gonna have longer life, productive life than that. And the hen, if you want to run a test, you can do it. Pull a cock already cleaned up
Okay.
and pull one on the comb. The bigger the comb, the better. Let's
Yeah.
see what the nature gonna do. Put 10 hens. Put 10 hens running loose. You put one kind, one and one of those little scratching pen, and put another little
Right.
scratching pen. Let's see where gonna win. Who gonna get more women? Who gonna be surrounded about all those chickens?
Wow. So tell me, why is that? Why is that?
Because chickens are very attractive for the big long comb, because the bigger they are, the more strong their genes.
Wow. So the comb is a reflection of their gene pool, huh?
Healthy genes.
Healthy genes. Healthy genes. Got you. Got you. Okay. So if obviously some people have already trimmed their brood cocks, but moving forward, you don't suggest to trim a brood cock.
No, because longevity, they're gonna be better for the cock. They're gonna produce more sperm in the long run.
Wow. Got you. So the video froze up just a little bit. So if you can repeat that, because it was a little delay in what you were saying. It got a little, when you start moving your hands, the screen got a little foggy. So you said that do not cut the comb because he will produce longer or stronger
A
down the
stronger,
line.
and more. They're gonna be more stronger. You're gonna produce more testosterone. So in that particular issue, your eggs, they're gonna be guaranteed more. They're gonna be more fertilized. They're gonna be more fertile. They're
More
gonna
hatching rate,
produce
a higher hatching rate. Okay.
and
Right.
and,
So you'll
and,
have a
and, and
higher
very
hatch
strong.
rate, huh?
Yeah, and gonna be very strong genes on it. Okay.
Mm. Got you. So that's that. Hey, that's new to me. So even if they get frostbitten, like you say, just trim it to the minimum. Like if it's only an inch, to trim it an
If you
inch.
see,
But
if excuse me, if you look very careful, the cone, you're gonna see like a 1 inch from the cranium up. You're gonna see a line like that.
okay,
All of them has. You can trim that part if you want.
but not below that line.
Not below that line. Nature make that line for a reason. The cone,
Mm.
the cone. Listen, the cone is the radiator of the chickens. The comb is to the make control her body heat.
Wow. Wow. So, and you said that nature is going to create that line.
Of course, they start the rooster growing. You're gonna see that line since
Mm-hmm.
they're born. That line gonna stop in one spot when the rooster not gonna not gonna continue growing anymore. That's the food already. They be able you to cut it. Okay, but you're gonna, if you watch it carefully, you're gonna see that line. Okay, like a half moon line or straight.
Okay.
That if you call below that line, there's gonna be a lot of bleeding. If you call on top of that line, it's not too bad. They're not gonna have too much bleeding. When they get the frostbite get to that. That's it. That's the part that come off.
To that line.
To that line.
Got you. So that, and just to let you know, doctor, the more you move your hands, the more cloudy the video gets.
Oh, sorry.
No, but I know we all talk with our hands, but I know it's just like every time you move your hands, the video get cloudy.
The thing is, a part of my Italian blood, when we talk,
yeah, I know. So that is very, that's very interesting. Yeah. So the comb serves multiple things: the genes, the fertility, the radiator. It has multiple different purposes.
A lot of purpose. Yeah.
A lot of purposes. So if you do not, and like you said, if you have to cut it, try not to cut it below that line.
If you're gonna use it for brood cock.
As a brood cock. Got you.
They're gonna be longer. You're gonna have longer brood cock to produce better siblings for probably 2 or 3 years longer if you call the one all the way to the rat, because they're starting, the sperm are starting every year low and low and low, and today that's it. Remember.
Wow. Okay, so I also want to talk about when you say how long does because we talked about this earlier, how long does it take for when a brood cock breeds a hen, how long does it have, the egg has, in order to be fertile? I know you was telling me a time on it.
When the yolk is ready, the hen, it's look like a spoon, like that. That's
okay.
That's where the yolk gonna go. They have 5 seconds. 5 seconds for be fertile. If it not happen, that egg never gonna hatch. They're not gonna be fertile. 5 seconds only gonna take for the sperm get inside.
So when a rooster breeds a hen, when he puts the sperm in her, the sperm has 5 seconds to enter inside the egg to the yolk in order for it to be fertile.
In order to be fertile, from the air sac to the yolk. Okay, but from the hen get the sperm, saving it, the copula like that, saving it. When the eggs passing by, right away when they get in there, only have 5 seconds for one getting there. All of them try to go, but it's only one.
Only one.
Allow.
Okay.
Go in. Okay.
Okay.
So in that moment, everything get closed fast. Okay. Everything to touch it, they're gonna die. Only one get in. That's the lucky one.
Okay.
Okay. And then they're gonna take between 18 to 24, depending on the health of the chicken, depending on how much water the chicken drink.
Okay.
For get a new egg to come out. And then we're going to repeat the process again.
Okay, so that's great. So let's talk about that now. So the amount of eggs that the hen is going to produce is going to be a result of her health, the water, and the environment.
And the environment, that's right.
And the less stress, the higher eggs you would produce.
Exactly. The more stress you produce to the chickens, the less quality egg you're gonna get.
Got
You're gonna see eggs so much deformed. When the chicken is in a lot of stress,
Mm-hmm.
and the period of time that eggs
Mm-hmm.
in there,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of things gonna happen. That stress gonna reflect to the egg, and you're gonna see cereal-like rims in the eggs.
You will, huh?
I suggest to you to never use those eggs
So
because
tell me, so doctor, tell me this so we can make sure we understand it. So you're saying that a hen in a lot of stress, you can actually see
oh yeah,
rings in her eggs.
of course. Yes,
Okay.
you're gonna see, you touch it with your finger, you see, you say, why this egg is deformed? Okay? Why the egg is deformed? Because the stress that the chicken has. They
Got
imprint.
you.
Because that egg getting to be finished, there's a process that will go into it. Okay?
Okay.
In one of those processes, they have to stop and they go, stop and go, stop and go. And
Mm-hmm.
that getting stressed, the way they stop in that time period, they're supposed to
Mm-hmm.
continue going and stop there. So then what happens is all the molecules and all the blood vessels is starting getting big and put pressure to the egg. That's what make
Mm.
the ring. That's what make the rings.
Got you. Got you. Got you. Got you. So you can determine and just say like a person don't know, this their new time, and then they see the eggs come out and they see these rings, they run a finger across, they see these rings and know, wow, this chicken got a lot, this egg got a lot of rings. That can actually tell them maybe I need to change the environment for my hen because she's under too much stress.
The stress can be for anything for the chicken. If the
Okay.
chicken they don't have enough water, that's going to be a lot of stress for them.
Okay.
If you don't have the right protein, okay, if you don't have a good diet to them,
Okay.
that's going to produce a stress to them. You see me
Okay.
starting picking his feather.
Okay.
Sometimes they go for the feather that where the blood is and pick it because blood is protein
Okay.
and they need the protein.
Mm-hmm.
You need to raise the protein in the food that you're giving to them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they need to eat green grass every day. Every day they need to eat green grass if you want healthy.
Wow. Wow. And we talked about this earlier. Like I said, that opened my eyes on a lot of different things. But so the green grass makes a huge difference in the outcome of the health of the bird.
Of course, if they not eat green grass, you in trouble. Reason why? Because some gene gonna change because they looking for the vitamin K and the vitamin K is not there. They're gonna
Mm-hmm.
find the little vitamin K and then the food that you're giving is not enough. Those switch gonna turn down very low. When that bring the bird to the pit and get one of the artery cut, they're gonna bleed into death faster.
Mm.
There's not enough vitamin K to stop the bleeding.
And you can't get enough of it from the feed, huh?
No.
Wow. And I guess we talked about this earlier also was the fact that, I brought, I asked you because to me it was a logical question was the reason why, and we talking about like say the birds in the islands, the birds in the islands and, a lot of them are
Mhm.
raised on gravel. And I don't want to change the subject because we're going to get to that. But the reason why a lot of people don't see the effects of this is because their competition a lot of times is being raised in the same environment that they're being raised in, correct?
Well, I'm going to tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put it, for example, Puerto Rico,
Okay.
let's say, or Dominican Republic.
Okay.
They raise the bird in very similar.
Okay.
They have gravel, and they have those little round pens
Okay.
like that, and they put a lot of gravels to it.
Mm-hmm.
That giving a lot of stress to the chickens
Okay.
because the chicken can have a dust bath in those
Okay.
gravel. You see the chicken digging it very deep, trying to find the dust, for get their stress out.
So dust baths not only do a lot of, and you can talk about that too, but dust baths does multiple things, have multiple benefits for a chicken, correct?
Of course, of course.
Okay.
If the chicken they not get at least once a week a dust bath, they're gonna get a lot of stress, and the chicken, and that stress can be performing a lot of things. They might run. Okay, those switches gonna change, because when chicken they not sweat. Okay, because they not sweat, so they need the bath. They get the moisture inside them, the feather, absorb the dirt, compress it, open it, and compress it. That's what you see when they put the feather up. If you seen it, it's full of dust in there. If you see that dust, you touch it, it's very, very, it's a lot of humidity in there.
Moist.
A lot of moist. They produce a lot of moist. That moist is going to make they get all that stress out. The glandular, they're gonna produce more oil for them to shine in their feathers.
Got you. So the dust bath and them compressing the dust, releasing it, compressing it, releasing it, it allows them to release the stress. Also, it brings moisture to, or makes their body produce oil for the feathers.
A lot of it. A lot of it. And the good way too, because it's a process they do. So that oil is very unique in the chickens, because when the chicken get any bruise or whatever, they use that oil for cure themselves.
Wow. So the same oil that they're producing from taking dust baths is the same oil that they naturally use to help heal their wounds.
That's right.
Okay.
Especially in the face.
Especially in the face. Okay.
Yeah. Cone face. Chickens, they are very cocky with the feather and the cones, because that means I'm going to get my girl.
Okay.
If you put a chicken, they look pale. And you put a chicken, they look very shiny with straight comb, very bright eyes. Okay? Very shiny face. And you put one on the side, they be in the gravel without bath. You just put the chicken running to it. Let's see where they go for it.
So they're going to go for the ones that has been having dust baths versus the ones that's been living on gravel. That's what you're saying,
Yes,
right?
Sir. Yes, sir. According to the test, that's what happened.
According to the test. Okay.
That's what happened. They go for that because this one, the shiny eyes, the bright in the face, the bright in the leg, the bright in the feather, and the bright in the comb, that means healthy. Is that you can deny that.
Right.
And get to the pile birth.
Right. So, doctor, what I'm going to ask you, because I seen it in the comments, I know you had already told me the answer, but I'm just going to ask you, one of the viewers was saying, the sand was, with them having a dust bath in sand, would that be the equivalent or almost as good as them taking a dust bath in dirt?
Well, depend what sand going to be. Some sand, they are very fine.
Okay.
And some sand, they are more thicker. What I suggest to you guys, it can get some compost and mix it with the sand.
Mix it with the sand. So basically, it's horse manure.
Horse manure, sir.
So horse manure. You know, if you don't have enough dirt, you can substitute horse manure and sand mixed together.
And sand together.
And sand together. Now, and I know we have a lot to cover, and I know we going all over the place, but you're gonna have to come and do another interview. I'm gonna tell you that right now, because we ain't gonna be able to get all this information. So guys, follow along with us. Y'all gonna have to watch this video probably 2 or 3 times because the doctor's gonna be talking about a lot of different stuff on a whole bunch of different topics. Now, with the compost, we talking about horse manure. Horse manure. Now, doctor, tell them how we were discussing the benefits and the natural wormer and all that kind of stuff inside of horse manure. What is the benefits of the horse manure?
Sure. When the horse, anybody got horse, they always try to give the best food to the horse. Okay? Horse never, when they chewing, eating, they never use all the vitamin, only half of it. The only half of it, they go expose back.
Okay.
When they pee and they mix it together, it's a combination and fermentation.
And fermentation.
When the horse shit, excuse my language, cocker talk.
Right.
So, yeah, and the sun dries it, there's going to be a thin layer, dry layer, and you're going to see a lot of flies on top of it. And the horse manure. Those flies there for a reason. They laying eggs in there because underneath of that little layer is the right temperature for they can incubate their egg and they hatch new life.
Okay. So they use the horse manure as a breeding ground.
It is one of the best breeding ground for them.
Okay.
Okay. So, but what happened with them? Not even those flies. A lot of microorganisms go to that.
Microorganisms. Okay.
Oh yeah, a lot of it go to that and produce eggs in there. That's why the chicken are so crazy digging in the horse manure, looking for those little eggs. All those little eggs is 100% protein, natural way.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Okay? If you want very strong bones, very strong muscles, very strong ligaments, that's the way, natural way with the chicken to get it. And those chickens, if I'm wrong, any cocker, they've been raised chickens in horse manure or a place where they raise, where the horses are, they might figure it out why my chickens are different than the other chickens.
Right.
It's not the food what you're giving. It's the horse manure to make a difference.
Got you. Got you.
They're
So
always
horse manure.
they're always healthy. The pee from the horse is a natural dewormer for chicken.
So say that again. So the pee from the horse, even though it's mixed in the manure,
they have to be mixed in the manure.
Right. So it's a natural dewormer for the horse. I mean, for the chicken. I'm sorry.
For the chicken.
Okay. Now, what is in the pee that is making it a natural dewormer for the chickens?
It's the enzyme that's in there.
Okay.
The hormone for the horse is in there. When the temperature arrives, they coming out and they get the fermentation starting working on it. The chicken know when they go and dig for it, and they eat with a little piece of grass. They grab them, okay, and that gonna help to the flora inside them. They have to have the plus and the negative. So they have to have a balance.
A balance,
otherwise,
okay.
Otherwise the chicken gonna get sick because if the flora inside is not healthy, the chicken can get diseases on it. All the health in the chicken is in the intestine.
In the intestines, okay.
Yeah, that's right. From there, because that's why we told you all the time. You're gonna look the way you eat. That's epigenetic.
That's epigenetics, right? We talked about that earlier. So tell me this. So basically, and I know we're jumping on to another topic, but like with the epigenetics, And guys, if you don't know what epigenetics is, I guess, you know, doctor, I don't know if you want to kind of give them a brief little summary what epigenetics is or what it means.
Epigenetic is pretty much the system around you.
Okay.
So it's what you eat, it's what you drink, it's your form of life.
Okay.
If your life is sedentary, you're gonna be big, and you're not gonna have a strong body. You're probably gonna die young. You're
Yeah.
probably gonna die the heart attack.
From a if you're in a too much of a sanitary environment, huh?
Oh yeah, you're gonna die very young, 100%. A heart attack. You know, you can perform right. Your life gonna be cut short.
From a sanitary environment, huh?
If you get in life, sanitary life, your life gonna get cut short. That's for sure.
So it's like they say, kids do better when they raised with animals, huh?
100%.
Got you. Yep. Okay.
And they have more.
Yeah.
And they have more respect for people.
Right. That's exactly. So tell me this though, what's the line in the sand that you would say as far as the environment? Obviously, you don't want your chickens in a filthy environment.
Chicken in the filthy environment is not good. They get sick quickly. They get sick quickly. You know, in 24 hours, they can get sick. Like that. Boom.
Right.
If you use horse manure and sand, I strongly suggest every month you have to put lime inside the
lime. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Lime gonna cure any organisms that's starting growing there, any alga, any virus that trying to grow up, especially in the human environment. It's raining a lot, whatever, like that. Every month you have to have a chart. You're gonna mark that chart, like this. Okay, it's lime tomorrow.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And you're never gonna have a problem. And every 6 months you understand that you need to change that horse manure, that sand, for new horse manure and new sand.
Okay, so the horse manure and sand is typically good for at least 6 months, right?
For at least 6 months. For 6 months.
For 6 months. And that's
no more
only,
than that.
No more, that's the maximum. And that's only if you are treating it every 30 days with the lime.
Exactly. If not, probably 2 months.
2 months and you got to throw it away. Right, exactly. Okay, so the lime is actually allowing you to keep that horse manure longer than go ahead.
The lime, what lime's gonna do is gonna be fixing the horse manure and the sand. When the chicken poop in there, it's a lot of hormones.
Okay.
That if you accumulate a lot of that with no ventilation, the chicken gonna get sick.
Got you. Okay.
What the lime gonna does? They're gonna kill all those viruses. They produce that smell.
Okay. So
And
all that bacteria
all that bacteria is in there. They're attracting fly to put the eggs in there. That's when the chicken getting sick.
Got you. So you have to make sure that manure is treated with lime. If not, you're going to have a situation.
That's right.
Because the lime keeps it balanced. It keeps the bad stuff away and allow the good stuff to still stay there for the chicken to pick through and all of that.
Exactly.
Got you. So tell me this. Is it better for somebody, say if you had the ability or you had the access to unlimited amount of horse manure, would it be more beneficial for you to change the horse manure every month, or does it do well to have the horse manure for 6 months treating it with the lime? What would you, in a perfect world, what would you suggest?
If it's me, is saying abundant horse manure, I'd be able to change it like every 45 days.
Every 45 days. Okay. Every 45 days. Okay.
Yeah,
all
because
right.
by that time, the horse manure is already be very dry, because the sand gonna waste all the moisture in the horse manure, in the wind dries, stuff like that. Okay.
Right.
What I not suggest to you is put water in there.
Don't put no water in there.
No, don't try to use the hose. Shh. No.
Okay. Well,
No.
tell me this, doctor. This is a question. Then that's a great point. I'm glad you said that. So, would you suggest horse manure, say like in Puerto Rico or DR during the rainy season, since you can't prevent it from getting wet?
The thing is, they don't have the bird where they get wet. They have the bird covered with metal roof.
Okay.
They cover with metal roof.
So long as it's covered and the manure is not getting wet, you okay with keeping the manure in there. But if somebody has some, pins outside and they're not completely covered and they can't get wet, would you not suggest they use the horse manure?
Well, what's going to happen in that occasion is all that horse manure you're going to find out is outside of the pen the next day.
Okay, I got you.
Because the chicken going to try to dig and die, going to pull everything out. Looking.
Okay. So it's not going to cause any health issues. It's just going to cause a big old mess.
Big old mess.
Got you. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that the water wasn't going to cause, some type of negative reaction.
No, they're not going to cause negative reaction. At least you make it like a pool in there. Because chicken, they don't like water. Chicken, they don't like walking water. They are not duck. Chicken like to
die. Right. Okay, so they don't like, right. So you saying basically they don't like all that water. Okay, I just kind of wanted to clarify that because again, like you said, with a lot of the microorganisms and all that kind of stuff, I didn't know if water made that stuff regrow again or something like that. But it's basically you don't want to wet it because you don't want the chicken to make a big old poop, old manure pool.
Yeah, one of the things is no water in the horse manure is because the horse manure already be in the process of fermentation. If you put water on it, you're going to dissolve that.
Got you. Okay, so that's the reason. All right. So I just wanted to make sure that was clear because obviously, I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. So I'm just trying to make sure I get all the details and a deep understanding. So it's basically when not only is the chicken going to make a mess, but you don't want to change the fermentation process by adding water to the horse manure when it's already been going through the fermentation process, right?
That's exactly because if you put water, the pea going to make the fermentation because the ratio is more water on it, it's more humidity on it, so they're going to disappear. So the process is going to get cut off.
It's going to get cut off. So it's going to actually speed up the process to the finish line if you add water to it. You're going to cut the life expectancy. Okay, you're going to kill it. That's it. I got you. So the fermentation is one of the largest, is the reason why the horse manure is so beneficial, huh? Is because of fermentation process?
That's right.
Okay. All right.
That's
and you
right.
don't want to add water to that because you'll kill the fermentation process by diluting it, correct?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. And I always suggest do not give him the food in the little container. Throw in the ground.
Throw it on the ground.
Throw it in the ground.
Okay. So you don't suggest feeding them in a cup. And
No.
now that you don't know at all, huh? So tell me this. So I guess now we can talk about the reason why you throw the food in there with the horse manure and not feed them in a cup. So what's the reason to feed them on the ground in there inside the pen?
If you will notice, a piece of corn have little layer, very clean, thin little layer. That work like a magnetism. When they touch the ground, chickens right away scratch it and put it together with the dirt. What that's gonna do, if you grab that piece of corn, you're gonna see it's already dirty with a lot of dust. That dust is iron.
It's iron.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what chicken needs. Okay. Natural way.
Okay.
Natural way. I'm gonna tell you something. If you have a chicken, you run it loose right? Throwing it loose, natural loose. You're not giving in a cup. You just throw in the grass. You throw
Right.
in one place.
Right. That's right.
Those chicken never get sick. The chicken to get sick is the chicken they're eating in the cup. A lot of those switches gonna turn off because they're not getting the right vitamin from the earth.
Got you.
That's
Okay.
gonna make a strong bones. That's gonna make a strong arteries. That's gonna make very thick blood when they get cut. If they don't
Got
grow
you.
up and they don't have that, you just regular chicken.
Just got a regular chicken.
Just you have regular chicken.
Okay, so the outside layer of the corn, or all the feed, but mainly the corn, when you throw it on the ground, it attracts all the particles and the dirt and all that kind of stuff on the ground, which is beneficial
For the bird.
For the bird.
Mm-hmm.
Got you.
Mm-hmm.
So to go back, because I want to make sure we answer this guy's question, one of the viewers' question, is the sand, could the sand be a replacement for the dirt for them taking the dust baths? I know you kind of talked a little bit about depending on if the sand is fine or something like that, but is it some type of sand, would you suggest, if they don't have access to the dirt, could they use sand as a substitute? And if the answer is yes, what type of sand?
Yes, you can use sand, but you have to find a sand, one of those sand in the Spanish word they use for do construction. It's very fine.
Mm-hmm.
Can use that because that they can put it inside the feather. They produce more humidity on it.
Right.
Okay.
And they can compress it. Okay.
Yeah, if they're too thick, they're not gonna work.
It's not going to work. So you need a finer sand that they use in construction. Is it like the sand they use to make concrete?
The concrete is more thick.
Okay.
It's the one they use when they do blocks, and then when they do like a deco.
Creeks. Okay. All right. I got you.
That sand.
That kind of sand. So a finer, coarse sand is what you want if you don't have the access to the dirt.
Or you can get the other sand, but you can make your own manure. You can go and pick it up. A lot of probably a lot of vegetables, and put it in one of those green barrel tank, 55 gallons, and get a nice black dirt. Put it together, cover with a plastic bag.
Okay.
For 2 months.
Okay.
Put it in the sun.
Okay.
And when you come out of that, you're gonna see this is one of the best manure you can find for put in the garden.
Oh, so that's another option then. I mean, that's a great option. So if they don't have the access to the manure, right? You saying that you can just kind of make your own compost with your scraps from vegetables, some nice dark dirt in a 55-gallon drum, cover it with a plastic black bag, and just leave it out there in the sun. And then a month later, you can use that because a 55-gallon and mix it. Okay, I got you. And mix that with sand.
Like, yeah, 1 barrel of that, 1 barrel of the sand. You can put let's say, I don't know how big the pen's gonna be, but let's for example 4x4.
Okay.
You can use like a 1 barrel, wheelbarrow for each one. That's it.
1 wheelbarrow for each one. Okay.
That's it.
Okay. All right. Got you. So this has been, look, all of this information is extremely, extremely good. So what I want to do is also too, because we've been on the phone, I don't know if you realize, already over an hour. So
really?
I got the timer right here, so I know how long we've been on, and we've been on here over an hour. So let's talk a little bit about the understanding the genetics, because you gave me some extremely great information, and I want to make sure that they can get they listen to this information. So you talked about the genetics, and let's talk about You said they got 78 chromosomes, right?
That's right. That's right.
Let's talk about who does the hen, what qualities come from the hen, what qualities come from the rooster? Like in the sex of a chicken, who determines the sex of the chick?
The hen.
Okay, the hen determines the sex of the chick. Okay,
Yes.
we talked about like some body parts. Who determined, where does the chick get the lungs from? The rooster
From the
or
from the mother.
from the mother? So the chick get his lungs from the mother.
Yeah, your lungs belong to your mother, not from your father.
Ah, now that's really, so tell me something, doctor. How do the scientists, how do y'all know that? Like, how do y'all break it down and understand like what body parts come from what parent?
Because only the mother they can produce. That's the mother who got the mitochondria.
Okay.
Okay, men we don't have it, so we
Okay.
can produce it.
Okay. So the mitochondria is what the hen has that the rooster don't have.
That's right.
Okay. Oh man, I think his battery might have died. But this has been an extremely good interview. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna see if I can bring him in. Let me see if I can bring him in, bring him back. Oh man. Hey guys, I hope y'all are really enjoying this interview. It's been some extremely good information, and we were really getting down to the nitty-gritty. We've been on here over an hour. I know when I talked to him earlier, him and I had some long conversations, today, and both of us was running our batteries down, and we were both racing to get our phones plugged up. But he did tell me that his battery was only like at 40% before we got on the phone. Cologne, hey brother, this is a oh, here he come. He's coming back in. Hold on, brothers. This is a good one. We're about to talk about some nitty-gritty on some genetics now. We getting on down, making this thing happen. This information, I'm telling you, we letting all the secrets out. Journey to the Pit is the university for cockers. It's the Harvard. Did your battery die?
They're gonna die very soon.
Well, listen, because I know I told them that when you had to get knocked off that your battery was dying. We're gonna start talking about genetics really quick. But if your battery died, we don't get to finish it. Would you be willing to come on next Friday so we can finish up whatever we don't finish tonight?
Sure.
Okay, all right, great. So guys, y'all hear it. He's back. We're gonna talk about genetics. When we get cut off because his battery is gonna die, we're going to have him come back on next Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern time like we always do it. So now let's so we can get as much information as possible. So microchondria, pronounce that. What do you say the hen has that the rooster don't have?
The mitochondria.
Mitochondria. Okay,
Yeah.
so the hen has the mitochondria. And what does the mitochondria determine? The sex, the body parts, what does it determine?
That's the one they send the power to the chickens, because that's go to the ligaments. That was the cells. Okay, that's the one they produce the strong cells. Okay, so from there is when they go, like for example, for the lungs. Okay, only the mother can produce the lung, and the lung is the power.
Okay.
Okay, and the same thing with the diseases. The
Okay.
cat not produce diseases, the hen to produce the diseases. Okay?
Wow.
Man, we can produce diseases. It's the hen produce diseases. That's why it's so important, the health and the hens, before you put it to the program.
Wow, now that is something, now that's deep right there. So basically, if you're getting, sickly chicks, right? Or you see, you getting chicks with imperfections and stuff like that. A lot of that is the result of the hen.
And the hen. Like raw nutrition, okay, that's all together. So you need to have that mitochondria very strong. That's why you need to have those chickens without stress. You need those chickens to have good life, good fly pens, you know, where they can stretch. You have to see their face and the chicken very, very shiny, very red. Okay, if you see a hen, they have the face like one of those lights in the street. They go like a yellow, blue, and green.
Right, right.
Something's wrong.
Something's wrong.
Something's wrong. You need to do serious dewormer and then fast.
Got
Okay.
you.
Sometimes they got a lot of blood suckers, and you need to use, you know what I mean, like diameter earth and them. That's what can kill them, or some topic, you know.
Right.
Dewormer, you know.
Right. Right.
Because sometimes those they eat a lot, they suck a lot of blood on them, and then the system is starting to shut down a lot of things.
Shut down. I already know we're going to have to do another interview because I want you to talk about, we're going to finish this, but I want you to talk back about how important those genetic switches are, how they turn off and on. So,
that's very important. People need to know how that thing works, because that depends that you move to the next level when you chickens.
Right. Okay, so the hen produces, so you said the microcomb reacts, which is produce the ligaments, the lungs, the sex,
the power,
and okay. So tell me, what role does the cock play in a reproduction, you know, of the chick? You know, body structure, anything like that. Do they play any role in that?
Yes, phenotype.
The phenotype.
Phenotype is come from the cock, and the typically way they perform, that's going to come from the cock. Okay.
Okay, so the health comes from the hen, the performance comes from the cock.
That's right.
I got you. So if you got problem with diseases and stuff like that, that's a result of the hen.
The hens, yeah, the hen pick it up, not the rooster. And the hen is the one the hen is be able to transfer in the eggs to the chicks.
Got you. That's why it's so important. That the hen health. First, both birds need to be in complete top health, but that's why it's even more important. The hen. That's exactly right. Wow. So again, we went over a lot of stuff tonight, and we're going to have to finish this interview next week because I want to revisit a lot of those topics. I mean, I really want to revisit a lot of those topics because I want you to talk more about the epigenetics, how the environment, real quick, because we're going to try to get some more stuff in before your phone dies with the epigenetics. So in a chicken's role does the environment play? I'm having connection issues too on my end. But how big of a role does the environment play in a chicken's life? Like genetics play a role, environment play a role. How much would you say genetics and then environment?
Genetics is 50%, environment is the other 50%.
So the environment is just as important, 50-50. So the environment is just as important as the genetics.
That's right. That's exactly right.
And also too, so that means, and I'm just for an example, that means somebody doesn't need to go out here and buy $1,000 rooster and $1,000 hen and don't have the right environment for them.
The first thing you need to know is that you have to provide them good environment if you want make those birds, they sibling get better than them.
Okay.
Otherwise you might gonna call a year later, say, hey, what you give me, it was not good. This thing is not working.
Right.
Okay. They work for the breeder who give it to you, but they're not working for you because you brought the bird a different environment. Probably you don't have the knowledge how raising them. You don't know how much protein they need. You don't know how much, for example, how much space they need, okay, for growing. Remember, this is this is not for the bodega bird that you're growing.
Right.
You're growing a warrior here.
A warrior,
So,
exactly.
yeah. They need to stretch their wing. They need to fly high. They need to run. They need to scratch deep. They want those legs strong. They want the thigh. They want the thigh very strong because they cut for the thigh. They not cut for the shin. They cut for the thigh.
I got you. I got you.
If that thigh is not strong enough, if that sciatic nerve is not strong enough, you not have a good cutting ability. That's why we suggest wild back and bird. The wider the back, the more strong, the more power they have.
And then also, too, to talk about, because I know we talked about this earlier, was the fact that, like you said, you have to breed the body for the purpose of the style, the weapon,
the style,
right?
The style. That's right.
Right. So you got to breed it. Right. So in some styles, you might want a little narrower, like a little narrower back than a wider back, or would you say it's, in your opinion, it's across the board a wider back?
Well, it depends on the weapon that you use.
Okay.
Usually in American way, they have to be very big breath because the weapon they use, they need that. That's the cushion who's going to prevent to not kill you right away. Okay? So American blood, they usually shuffle a lot.
Right.
And they not able to close the leg because too much chest. The breast is too big, and they not crossing it.
Got you. Like a bodybuilder, who has.
This isn't her way. If you go postiza, you have to have the keel bone outside. That's when you can cut across and get deep on it. If you got a lot of chest, if you got a lot of muscles here, you're not going nowhere. You might going to be ending like losing it, like both lay up. Let's say the concha.
The concha. Hey.
See.
So it goes back to, like you say, some require a wider back, but again, depending on your style, your style needs to reflect your body structure, right?
The wing go by the style. The tail go by the style. Send the hackle go by the style.
Wow. Huh. So the wings, the feather, and the hackle go by the style.
That's right, sir.
Okay, so explain to us, like, why? Or, like, why the wing and why the hackle?
For American blood, they have to have wide and long wing and long tail, very perfect tail, because that's the balance for the bird in the air, fast. Those birds are 5 pounds over. They have to have a strong wing for holding a piece of meat. They weigh 5 pounds. Let's say for 5, 7, even for 10 seconds in the air, shoveling. Okay? All that coming from the chest and wing. The tail opens just for holding it in the air.
Like balancing it in the air.
Just like hawks does.
Just like a hawk.
Yeah.
So a hawk does the same thing.
The hawk do the same thing. The tail is the maneuver where they go. The tail and the rooster do the same thing, but the rooster is not flying like a hawk.
Right.
The tail just open, the wing is spread, and they get together. And then in that moment, they hold all the air, and the only thing you see is the leg shoop, 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 try to go in and out. And they not go like that. They go like this.
Oh, I got you. For postiza, it goes like this.
A postiza go like this. And some people, they get confused. They think because they crow and they got nice feather and they fight beautifully, they think they are the same bird, and they're not.
They're not.
They have 78 chromosomes, even they got different blood. But what happened is one got built for one weapon, and the other one got built for another weapon.
Right.
For you do that transaction to cross them, both of them, they're gonna take, for you get a good result, probably gonna take you 4 years.
4 years, but it can be done.
It can be done, but you need to eliminate this chest.
The breast.
Naturally.
Naturally. Through genetics. Through genetics, not feed.
To genetic, not feed.
Got you. So it typically takes about 4 years for you to kind of fine tune or at least see the results of what you've been working towards.
And when you're crossing two different blood, yes. Because from there, you have to use your clinic vision and what do you want?
Okay.
Because remember, if you have a set of birds, let's say Espanol birds, and you get a set of American bird, you changing 50% of what you got for 50% the way you bring it in. Okay? So if you got your bird in the nice program, canceling, making it like a line blood added, and this guy have the same program that you have, when you crossing over, the only thing you're gonna see is who tied the blood be more defined, work and line. That's gonna show up. Who got strong genes, that's what we're gonna see. And the phenotype.
In a phenotype.
That's what you're gonna see.
Right.
And the phenotype. That's gonna be dominant on it.
Okay.
So the recessive gene is there, waiting to get dominant to show up. They might never show up. Okay? But along you keep the strong. It's a strong for a reason.
Right.
Okay? Always I suggest go with a strong gene. It's a strong for a reason.
Okay.
Always I suggest that. Never go for something that's recessive. Never go for that.
Because it might never show up again.
Might never show up again. And it's a recessive because it's in the downside. It's weak.
Oh, okay. I got you. So a recessive gene is basically a weak gene that pops up when there's really no resistance.
That's right. It only pops up when there's no resistance on it. So when there was no dominant gene on it, the recessive
then it came out.
Then it come out. That's right.
Got you.
It's simple like that. If I have two pieces of glasses, right? If I have two pieces of glasses and I put it together, the only thing you're gonna see is one piece of glasses. Okay?
Got you. Right.
Like that. Or you're gonna see one. You're not gonna see two. You're gonna see one.
Right.
But in those pieces of glasses, I get this and put it up front. You're never gonna see it again because this is a strong. The color of this is a strong.
Okay.
It's not clear anymore.
Okay.
The only you're gonna see it is when this is not there.
Got you. So that recessive. So your hands is the recessive gene, and the. Oh man, I think. Well, it looks like that clicked out. Let's see if we can bring them on back in, guys. I hope y'all really enjoying this interview. Like I said, you know, Journey to the Pit. We don't let you down, man. We are creating, nurturing, and building the next generation. Listen, like I say, guys, we're gonna hopefully he can come back on tonight. But if we're not able to get him back on tonight, he will be on next Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please post any questions that you might have in the comments. This way we can give the doctor, we can have him address those questions for next week. So this way we can get all the answers, because obviously, guys, y'all know I can't I cannot look at the comments and ask him the questions because we'll never get through the interview. So if y'all guys have any questions that y'all want to ask the doctor, please put them in the comments, and then we'll go through these comments and we'll make sure that we ask the doctor to address these comments, questions in the comments for next week. So again, if y'all guys got questions that y'all want to ask the doctor, please put them in the comments because we can make sure that he address them next week. Obviously, we've been on here over an hour. His battery died, but I had a great opportunity talking with the doc. We probably talked a couple hours a day anyway. Yeah, we was on for an hour and a half. So we were on for an hour and a half. His battery died, but we're going to have him on next week. So again, the information, just like all of the interviews, and I think different people take different things from different interviews, and that's the reason why it's so important, and I try so hard to bring on a variety of different guests, because you never know what somebody out there watching need. One guy might need some information on, health, worming regimen or vitamin regimen or how to work an incubator or how to, everybody needs something different. So I try to bring on a variety of guests. My brother Cologne, man, he introduced me to the doctor, sent me some videos and stuff like that on him. I reached out to him. As y'all guys can see, he's extremely knowledgeable. He's not just book smart. He is a veterinarian, and he also has a master's in genetics. And he said that's why he went back to get a master's in genetics, is because just being a veterinarian didn't teach him enough about genetics. To become a veterinarian, it touches on a lot of different things, but he wanted to be a master in something. And like I say, genetics was something that he was extremely interested in, and he did not get what he wanted from veterinarian school, so he went back to school and got a master just in genetics. So this guy's a real deal. And not only that, the guy is active. He's out here. So what he's talking about is just not being done in a lab. What he's talking about is being done out in the field. So that's the great thing about it. He does a lot. He actually also does classes every 3 months. He goes to Mexico. He does a class in Mexico every 3 months. Like I say, him coming on, he'll be back on next week. This information was extremely good. And I'm telling you guys, I know some of y'all guys might be taking this Journey to the Pit series for granted. But I promise you, if you go back, because Journey to the Pit, we have recorded hours and hours and hours of interviews. If a beginner or even an experienced cocker, if you go back and you watch all of these interviews from the beginning to the end, you would be amazed of the amount of information that has been disclosed on Journey to the Pit. And it's not about fighting chickens. It's about raising, creating, nurturing, improving gamefowl. It's not about fighting chickens. It's about everything else. It's about what our journey is all about. Creating healthy, strong gamefowl. Making it better for the next generation and the next generation and next generation. And then also giving every gamefowl breeder out there a fair shot. You know what I mean? It's a lot of guys out there, newbies. Not say newbies because they're not all young. Some guys have gotten to the gamefowl at a later age, like myself. I got into gamefowl in my 30s. But some of y'all guys been blessed. Y'all got into it, when y'all was kids. But again, for the newbies, this information is extremely beneficial because it almost levels the playing field. It doesn't take away the fact that you got to go out there and do the hard work. You still got to put in the work now. You still got to put in the work. But this era right now, Journey to the Pit is giving you access to information that even 5 years ago, you probably would never have had. Actually a year ago or 2 years ago, you probably would have never had. So understand that Journey to the Pit is giving you the opportunity to level the playing field. You no longer have to, buy chickens to try to build a relationship in order to get little bits and pieces of information. And not saying anything wrong with that. No disrespect at all. And I'm not saying anything is wrong with that method. But everybody doesn't have the opportunity to do that. Everybody doesn't have money to buy the, chickens, and everybody are not living in close proximity to some, successful breeders. And then again, successful breeders are already extremely busy. Either they're working full-time jobs and taking care of the farm, or they have really big farms and they totally tied up taking care of the farm. So Journey to the Pit opened up a huge avenue for guys who do not have access to mentors, who doesn't have access to successful breeders, who can't drive down the street and go to successful breeder house and start feeding and watering and stuff like that so they can learn. Dude, I don't know if y'all guys realize, but we have hours and hours of Journey to the Pit interviews with some very successful gamefowl breeders from all sizes. They're not all big. They're big, small, and medium. They got full-time guys, and they have guys who work full-time jobs and then take care of their chickens. So again, the information is across all spectrums. Everybody can learn something from one of these interviews. One interview you watch, you might not learn anything. But another interview you watch, you might learn a lot. So every interview might be exactly what you need, but not exactly what I need. So I just encourage y'all guys, man, to understand and don't take it for granted. The fact that this information that y'all guys are getting, believe me, you have to do not take it for granted. You got to appreciate it, because I promise you, many of y'all guys would never get access to this information. And again, I'm getting access from this information just on relationships I have, and I greatly appreciate everybody who has came on this show. I greatly appreciate everybody who has lined up an interview for me, because a lot of these guys, I don't even know. Like, I never knew them until I was suggested or introduced to them from another cocker. So, I'm extremely grateful to those people, who have done that, for me. But again, guys, like I say, it's this information is priceless. We're going to have the doctor on next week, and like him and I, we have talked for hours. It's just amazing. We have talked for hours. Cologne had introduced me to him like some months back, and he called me. He's like, "Hey, you ever reach out to the doctor?" And I was like, "Man, I didn't. Got so much stuff going on, and I didn't reached out to him." And like I say, we just started talking, and he gave me a whole different outlook on a lot of different things. I mean, a lot of different things. And it's actually going to make me change my program in a lot of different ways, because not only is the information, is the fact that it makes logical sense, it has scientific information behind it, and it's been field tested. And a lot of the stuff he talk about, a lot of the gamefowl breeders that we have had on the show, they already know how to do this stuff. They might not knew this scientific reason why what they was doing was working so well, but they already know how to do it. A lot of these breeders actually all these breeders that we had on the show, they all know how to breed. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, Kel. They all know how to produce great, consistent, healthy gamefowl. All these people that we had on the show, they know how to do that. But what was great about the doctor is he's explaining to us why they're able to do that. Like, he's giving us the back door, the scientific reasoning of why these successful gamefowl breeders today and back in the 50s, 60s, and the 1800s, it's all the same. Like he said, chickens are all the same, period. And you can get like he said, you can get a good chicken from anywhere, from the man down the street, if he has all the other stuff that goes in line now. Now, he's not saying now you can just walk down to Fred's, Bob's, or Pedro's and just grab a chicken off the yard. No, he's not saying that. So don't take his words out of context. If you listen to the whole interview, he's just saying that a chicken is 78 chromosomes, and that's going to be the same in any chicken, no matter where you see this chicken on Earth. Now, if you listen to the rest of the interview, he'll describe what separates the chickens, because they all got 78 chromosomes, but why is this one better than that one? Why this breeder's chicken is better than that breeder's chicken? You know what I mean? Or why yours are not as good as his, or why this hatch that you have this season is better than last season. That's the information that the doctor is on here explaining to us from a scientific standpoint. And like he said, they can take this, and we're going to talk about this next week. He's going to talk about how they take their genes to the lab and break down these genes and look inside these genes and these chromosomes, and he can determine exactly all kinds of things about a chicken from their DNA. The same thing like they can do in humans. They can look at our DNA and see if we more likely to have cancer, or we got some type of, disease in our genes and all that kind of stuff. That's what he's talking about. And next week, when he come on, I'll make sure that he talks about how in the lab, how they analyze these genes. They analyze the hen genes. I mean, who knew? I didn't know. I didn't know the lungs on a chicken came from the hen. I didn't know that. It's a lot. It's just amazing. And understanding from a scientific standpoint and it being field tested, he even, like he say, breaking it down genetically, how the structure of the birds come into place. So this interview was bananas because, again, he gave me a deeper understanding of why all the people that we had on prior were successful. That's what this interview did. This interview gave us a deeper understanding of why all of the special guests we had on up until today, why they are successful. He gave us a scientific answer of why all those people are successful, why they're winning, why they're producing top quality birds, why their birds are healthy, why they're consistently producing season after season after season. He gave us a scientific answer of why all the guests that we have on, why they're able to do what they do. And what's amazing about it was, all the special guests that we had up until today, they know what they're doing. They might not know the scientific, language behind it or the scientific breakdown behind it, but they know what they're doing because that's why they're able to produce what they're able to produce. So just because they don't know the scientific language for it or the chromosomes and the laboratories and all that, that don't mean they don't know what they're doing. No different than back in the 1800s and all that, which back then, 1800s and all that is how they learn genetics. They didn't just learn about genetics, but it's amazing how you have a veterinarian that can take what he learned in school, then go get a master in genetics, and then look at the stuff in the field and mix it and put it all together just to get a deeper understanding of why things are working and why things are not working. That's all he said he wanted to do. He was so curious, and that's why he went to college, and then, finishing veterinarian school, he's like, hey, that didn't teach me enough about genetics. I need to know more about genetics. And he went back and got a master in genetics. But it's just amazing. Like, even with so many people know that having horse manure in the stalls work. But a lot of us didn't know why it worked. We just know that it worked. But he just explained from a scientific standpoint why it worked. We know it, all y'all guys who have used it know it works. Y'all all know it works. Y'all been knowing it working for the, last 10 decades. Y'all know it worked. But he gave us a scientific reason of why it worked. And that is what is extremely important, because the better you understand something, the better you can use it to your benefit. And it's like the 362 program, Journey to the Pit 362. The better you understand how to breed a chicken, raise a chicken, care for a chicken, you're going to automatically know almost how to point a chicken. Because in order for you to be successful up until that point, you have to be in tune with that. You have to be in tune. You should be able to read that bird after 362 days. if you're spending the right amount of time and you're doing all the things that all these successful breeders have done, you should be able to read that bird. About the bird. You know, it's going to educate you about the bird. And if you're educated and you're in tune with the bird, then nobody will really have to teach you too much about the last three. You can kind of figure that out on your own. So, again, guys, like I say, post your questions in these comments so we can get the doctor on next week. Don't forget it, Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Also, too, don't forget, we're going to have the Journey to the Pit 362, the last students. We're going to do their first week interview. We didn't get them on Friday or Sunday, so we're going to get them this Sunday. So we're going to have the last few guys that wasn't able to get on. They're going to talk to us about their first week, how their life has been going with this mentoring program, how things have been changing, how the relationship is with their mentor, you know, what they have learned. So that's going to be great. So tune in on that. We'll do that, say, Sunday at 8 p.m. Sunday at 8 p.m. We'll do their interviews. Again, we'll have the doctor back on Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, Journey to the Pit. I'll repost it again. This will be part 2. And again, just like I say, post in the comments if you have any questions that you would like the doctor to address. Please reach out to him, follow him, like him, you know, let him know you appreciate him coming on and giving his valuable information. You know, some of y'all guys may take it for granted, you know, but I think the majority of us, we all appreciate it. I think this is a great thing. I want to thank him for coming on tonight. I want to thank all y'all supporters out there watching. You know, it's all for y'all. Again, just tune in, follow me. You know, if you can't comment on the video, just send me a PM because you can't comment on the video if you're not on my friends list. My friends list is maxed out, so send me a message if you have anything you want to ask me. Everybody knows I respond back to all my messages. I respond back to every comment. But other than that, I got a road trip I'll be going down, see tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be seeing y'all guys tomorrow. Some of y'all viewers tonight, I'll be seeing y'all tomorrow at this event. It'll be a pleasure. Look forward to putting some faces with names tomorrow. I got a long trip, so I'm about to tune on out tonight so I can get me some sleep and jump on this road in the morning. Hopefully I'll see some of y'all guys tomorrow. But remember, post in the comments, share the video, post your questions. Make sure you reach out to the doctor and thank him for coming on tonight. It was some unbelievable information. Y'all guys will see him next week, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Relook at this video if you just tuned in. And also remember, 8 p.m. Sunday, we'll be interviewing the last few students from the 362 mentoring program. So at the end of the day, man, this was an awesome video. I thank y'all guys for watching, and I will see y'all soon. Have a great evening. God bless. Stay focused, stay positive, stay blessed. We'll talk to you soon.